Hello, hello. What's
Hey,
going on?
good evening, everyone.
Good evening, good evening.
Let me
Happy
see.
Tuesday.
Let me put a Happy Tuesday message out here.
Happy Tuesday. Whew, hope everybody's having a very blessed day thus far.
Happy
I
Tuesday.
look so forward to being here. Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited about this.
We got a big announcement. Get ready to come. Two
Yes. Yes.
announcements.
Yes.
So we'll wait
But
for a couple of people to come on.
you know how it rolls.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you that just never been here, we are Terrence and Jill.
Yes, we are.
We're newlyweds. We're actually not that far from 2 years.
Well, they said
Yeah,
2 years is over 2 years. We can't. Once April come, we can't say we newlyweds no more.
that's okay. We still got what, three and a half months, 4 months almost.
Oh, 4.5
Yeah, four and a
months.
half months. So hey, we're good. So we're right under 2 years.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, we are Terrence and Jill.
Mhm.
We're newlyweds again, like I said, and
You act like this your first time being on here.
I'm excited. I'm
Okay.
excited.
Okay.
So yeah, we're here to do our thing. So if you have never heard us, this is your first time being with us, please go on our profile and go to the very beginning. The
Yep.
first 5 videos that we've done should give you not only how we started and how it came to be, but it'll give you an idea how we evolved. We talked about, how I know she was the one for me, how she knew I was the one for her, and so
Mhm.
forth and so forth. So
Mhm.
we just ask you to understand this. We are not relationship experts. We're not here to give relationship advice. We are here to talk about those that are in God's waiting room, that
Yes.
are waiting to meet their soulmate. We're here to give advice. We're here of what you're going through. We're
To
here to
singles.
support, to uplift, to encourage.
Yep. So if you're single and you're in the waiting room and you tired of being in that doggone waiting room and you praying and praying and praying, you on the right channel.
Yes,
Cause we've been there, done that. We like
yes,
to think we're experts at being
yes.
single because we were single longer than we were married.
True that.
We were single more with longer in our adulthood than we were
Mm-hmm.
married. So we know what it was to be in it for a long time.
Yes.
So make sure you turn on your notifications. We go live every Tuesday at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. From
Yep.
time to time, we've been trying to do some pre-recorded videos.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so go to our timeline, catch our last one, because the last one we did was really good. If y'all haven't caught it, go look at the last video we did over the weekend, and it was the 4 ways God answers you.
Oh. Mm.
The 4 ways. Hey, Kimberly. The 4 ways God answers you when you have a love interest. So you got your eye on somebody and you want to know
Mm-hmm.
what God answer is about it, because God knows it all.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
it's the 4 ways of how he answers. What else? We want to keep in touch with you. So if you want to keep in touch with us, we got some stuff going on. We got, as I said, 2 announcements. We'll make one in a few minutes before we get
Mm-hmm.
started, and then we'll make the other announcement at the end. But yeah, but we want to keep in touch with you. So make sure you go to our website, subscribe to our mailing list so that we can keep in contact, and whatever
Mm-hmm.
you got going on, we here. We want to support.
Yes.
Mo, I'm sure you're gonna be jumping on at some point or catching a replay. I owe you a phone call. I know you sent a message,
Mm-hmm.
and so I owe you a phone call because I know you've been trying to get us on your platform and all kind of invitations that the Smiths. I'm gonna blame it on him. No, I'm just playing. All right, I'm playing. I'm
We
playing.
we
No,
haven't forgotten about
we
you.
haven't forgotten about you, Mo, but we got you. So expect some contact this sometime this week. All right.
Yes, yes, yes.
What else we got going on? We go live.
If you're somebody that feels like you want prayer,
Yes.
just hit us up. We will agree with you in prayer. If you want us to pray with you, we will pray with you. If you have a topic that you'd like us to cover that we haven't covered or you haven't heard or whatever, just send us an email,
You know, go to
send
our
us a
website.
message,
You can use the
and
contact
we will
form.
definitely, check that out, look at it, and we'll get a video. We'll bring it up in a live and
Yeah.
just do what it do.
Yeah. Real quick before we make our announcement, this is just off the radar, off the topic. I want to just tell you, I want to pat myself on the back. I want to tell you how good I am. I told y'all a couple of announcements ago. I'm sorry, a couple of lives ago. It could have been last year sometimes. I don't remember, or it could have been last week. My memory at 53 is just.
Oh, you gonna blame it on 53?
Yes, it's 53.
Oh, man.
But I could tell, like, I can go to somebody's wedding and I don't like this gift in me, but I can go to someone's wedding and I can tell if the couple is going to be together or not. I can tell if it's solid or not. I can tell if it will sustain or not. And I've learned, like, when people, like, unless you ask me for my advice or unless I hear a prophetic word and the Lord says, give a message, I'll do that. But for the most part, I've learned to, I definitely don't talk about nobody's marriage. Definitely don't do that. But something happened over the last 2 weeks the last 2 days that I told my husband a couple of weeks ago. I told him, I said, Deion Sanders will never marry Tracy Edmonds. He will never marry her. I said, she's not the one. And when everybody's like, what? When they announced their breakup over the last few days, I was not surprised.
She told me.
I did, because I said the type of ministry he's doing, where he's planted at on the football field, he needs a good wife. Then I said, she's not wife material. She's not
his wife material.
Yeah, it's not his wife. That's a good point to make. Not she's wife material, but not his wife material. Not the kind of wife he needs, where he's positioned for.
He has so much going on that even outside of football with his health, he really needs probably a woman that is going to make sure he's eating right.
Yes.
That he's getting the proper sleep. That's really massaging what he needs to be successful where God has him. And she has her own career. That's woman that they just broke up. Tracy. So that's
she's darn good at it.
And so it's just saying that it just didn't. Yeah, but she was correct. She was correct. Gotta give her kudos while she here. Give her flowers while she here. She did good. She did good.
I told him that. I said he will never marry her. Anyway, so we got a big announcement, baby.
Yeah.
What's our announcement?
Our announcement is that we've been blessed with a partnership with eHarmony. So somebody's taking notice of us. But yes, we have a partnership with eHarmony.
Yeah.
And it's great. I think it's great because of what we're doing. I think it's really great because we both actually have experience, because that's how we met online. So we definitely really is excited about this. It's going to definitely help us, help those of you that are, interested and willing. So, we got you on that.
Yep. So
we got you.
So real quick, what was your experience? Because this is not our topic, because we got a hot topic.
Yes.
We got a hot topic.
Yeah.
What was your experience on dating apps online?
I think it was really good. I think it actually helped me do something that was always in my heart, which is try to make sure that women that came through that I spoke to was in a safe space. Because now they don't have to give me their information unless they felt comfortable. We didn't have to meet, none of that stuff, until it was a comfort or security or whatever. And that's one thing I've always thought about dating online, is that it will at least give women an opportunity to set their own boundaries. Now, if you did something, put yourself in harm's way, can't help you there. But at least that kept distance away. And yeah, so I think it's really good. My experience is, it's amazing how many people on online dating, and this was kind of weird, but there was a lot of people that I saw would write negative things about themselves. It's like you're reading profile and you're like, what?
That's a whole nother
Why
subject.
would you put that on there?
It's a whole nother
so that was a trip, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't like yourself, but you on here saying you want somebody else to like you, I don't understand that.
Yes.
But yeah.
So my experience with online dating, and I'm just going to tell you, the reason why I am thrilled with this partnership with eHarmony is because eHarmony, I've always said eHarmony was my top online dating platforms. The one that Terrence's profile on it, hated it because y'all know why. It's because he was not, they had us outdated. He hadn't been on that site for 5 years and they still was running his profile. So, you know, so that's a whole nother story where you know that God is God because God, Kimberly, you're afraid of online dating. Well, you know that God is God because God ended up manipulating the online world so that we can providence. It was just nothing but providence. But I went on that site that Terrence was on, and I'm not going to tell you what that is. I went on another very reputable site, and that site was more, to me, it was more like I don't know. It was just that it was a good site, but it wasn't the type of inventory that I liked.
You just gave me a revelation when you said that. Online dating sites, all of them have their own personalities.
Yeah.
And so if you didn't know that, it's like you can be on one, because I was on a couple, right? But they were all different.
Black Planet and stuff like that. Oh, I don't want to say.
Did you say Black Planet?
I'm sorry, I ain't gonna say that.
Not. I don't even know what Black Planet is.
Okay.
But anyway, what was I saying? They got their different personalities. So you can be on one and you'll kind of see like the vibe is a certain way, but then you go to another one, it's a totally different vibe. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I will tell, I was looking at Kimberly's message, which she said that I'm afraid of online dating. I would say this. The one thing I do like about eHarmony is, and we're going to share this with you whenever, but that thing is serious.
Yeah.
You really need to understand how serious that platform is about making sure you meet the person that's for you, because they ain't playing.
Yeah. So what I was going to say was that there was one other site that I was on, and I didn't really like the inventory. I'll just say that the pool of men that I had come across. But they were, you know, it's a very reputable site. But eHarmony, I started on eHarmony in 2007. And the two guys that I thought that were longer term that came before Terrence, and one of the guys was one of the ones I thought I was going to get married to, came from eHarmony. And let me tell y'all something, eHarmony ain't no joke. And so when we were considering a partnership with we knew exactly who we wanted to pitch, and we knew exactly who we wanted to consider. And so yeah, I'm thrilled. I know that platform up and down, and let me tell y'all something. They have a compatibility quiz that it will test your patience.
Oh yeah, that's all I was just talking about.
Yes.
They ain't no joke.
It ain't no joke.
It
will test your patience, and it'll help you learn about who you are before you go searching, or before somebody will search you. So I really, really love eHarmony. And we're not just saying this, but as I said, I was very pleased with that. Now, me and the knuckleheads didn't work out, but at the end of the day, they are my type of men. They got it right. And so, but then this one comes along, who was like way much notches higher. So
from a site that she can't stand.
You weren't on there. So you weren't even on there. So, but so actually you can actually build your profile for free. Go to our website. You'll see the banner like in mid You'll see the banner like midway on our website. So go set up your profile for absolute. You can take the compatibility quiz before you even join.
Yeah.
If you don't, you could take the compatibility quiz. And so yes, please go set up a profile, and then we have a second part of the announcement at the end. So
Yes.
but we got a topic tonight, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We got a topic tonight. What's
We
the
do.
topic?
The topic tonight is, how far would you go for love?
And let me just tell you, for the last couple of days, we've been studying the book of Ruth.
Mm.
And if y'all know the story of Ruth, of course, y'all know the story of Ruth. It's a very short book in the Bible, but it's so many lessons in that book. And just today, like we've been studying this since what, last Friday, just today, just this evening, just like this half of the part of this day, of today, we got a whole new revelation, and we're going to share it with you all. But we can't assume that everybody knows the book of Ruth. I'm sure y'all do, but just in case somebody don't know what the story is of the book of Ruth, let me just tell you in a nutshell, in the Cliff Notes version of what the book of Ruth is about. And I might miss some points, but
we'll cover by
yeah,
the time.
yes.
By the time we get done, whatever she missed is
Hey Z. Okay, Z, did you hear our announcement that we have a partnership now with eHarmony? I just needed to let you know that. We have a partnership with eHarmony. It's official. So we got the notice like 2 weeks ago. And so, we had to, of course, go through some paperwork and stuff. So, yeah, it's official. All right. So the book of Ruth is in the Old Testament, and it's probably the greatest love story ever. So, there was a family, a husband and a wife, and their 2 sons, from Bethlehem. Yes, from Bethlehem. And so thank you, Giant Slayer. Yes, Ruth is a powerful book. So it was a husband and a wife and their 2 sons. They lived in Bethlehem, which very prominent during that time, a very prominent area during that time. But there was a famine in the land, so they escaped the famine to go to another region,
for lack of a better term.
Yes, another region, and that region was called Moab. Moab was the gutter, was the
it was
ghetto.
Like in the neighborhood,
it was in the ghetto, in the hood. It's like they went from the suburbs to the hood, but it was like a 60-mile difference. I think they said it's like a 60-mile difference. So because it was a famine, they went and fled to Moab. While they were in Moab, Naomi, that's the wife, her husband Abimelech, was it Abimelech? I keep saying, I don't know if it's Abimelech or Elimelech. Abimelech and and Naomi, Elimelech and Naomi, they were married. They had 2 sons. So while they were in Moab, Naomi's husband died, and she was left to raise her 2 sons. So then her 2 sons ended up getting married. One of them married a woman named Orpah. The other one married a woman named Ruth. So it was Naomi, her 2 sons, and her 2 daughters-in-law. Well, then her 2 sons died. And so she was left with her daughters-in-law, the 2 of them. So then Naomi got word that the famine in her land was over. And she was like, I'm getting the heck out of this ghetto. I can't do it no more. I'm going back home to my home. I've done suffered so much. And it's just another revelation. Like when you go from here to here, you die. And just to say that her son and her 2 sons and her husbands died when they went to a lowlier place. That's a whole nother revelation. But she decided she wanted to go home. Well, she had her daughters-in-law as well. Well, one of the daughter-in-laws, Orpah, she was like, nah, see y'all, I'm used to the hood. Ruth was like, I'm going where you go, Naomi, because I like the God you serve, because the God you serve is being a blessing to me. And that's where that whole scripture comes in, where who you who your God is, it's gonna be my God. Who where you lay, I'll lay.
Mhm.
Who- uh,
Right there.
what is it?
Yeah. It
So where
says,
you go as
where
I
you go, I
go,
go.
where you lay, I lay. Your people gonna be my people. Ruth was like, I'm getting up out of the hood. Like I'm going wherever you go, Naomi. Mama, I'm going wherever you going. And so they made the trek back to Bethlehem. And when they got to Bethlehem, they were quite poor. Naomi and Ruth were quite poor. Daughter and daughter-in-law. I mean, mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. And so Ruth had to do what she had to do to make sure she took care of her mother-in-law because her mother-in-law was up in age, and she had to also bring, try to get food for the family. Well, while she was working in the field to get food for the family, long story short, the owner of the field, who was a very rich man named Boaz, um, saw her,
Mhm.
and they ended up getting married. They ended up having a baby called Obed. Who
Mhm.
Obed was the father of Jesse, and Jesse was the father of King David. So
Mhm.
there's so many lessons that we want to ask you some questions. How
Mhm.
far would you go for love? Because Ruth did a whole bunch.
She did a lot.
She did a lot.
And mind you, almost every single thing she did was going against the culture that she grew up in, was going against everything that she had learned, everything she was taught from her family, the whole nine. She basically went into a new everything, a new
Yes.
region, a new culture, a new law. They had different laws in Bethlehem versus Moab. So I mean, she changed a lot to almost like you say, if a person can change their stripes, she changed a lot to get to where she wanted to be.
Obed, yep. Obed, Jesse, yeah. Obed, Jesse, David, and then Jesus. Yep,
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. So she did what she had to do for Jesus to come through. So the first question is, what would you do for love? Oh, no, I'm sorry. How far would you go for love? The
Okay.
first question is, would you humble yourself to serve? Because that was the first thing she did. Like she was serving her mother-in-law, and she had lost her husband. She
Yeah.
had lost what she thought she loved. She
Mm-hmm.
had lost her husband, but she still was serving. And sometimes that's the thing where God will see your heart. Are you just serving your mother-in-law because you like her son
Mm-hmm.
and you want her son, or you got her son? But what happens when the son is gone? And that showed a lot of who she was. She still served her mother-in-law. That shows character.
It shows not only character, it shows that your spirit, your spirit is going to be attracted to where it comes from. And Naomi exhibited what having God inside you looks like. And it made her
It
spirit
drew
attract to her.
Ruth. Yep.
Yeah, Ruth
It
wanted that
drew.
attraction. She wanted to know why. She
She
loved how
served.
her
She served
mother-in-law
the
was
God in
treating
her.
her and taking care of her, and how she was even, like I said, just everything she did was top notch, up class, and she was attracted to
Yeah. The second question is,
it.
would you be willing to let go of friendships?
Whoa.
And the funny part with Orpah and Ruth is that they not only shared a friendship in, I'm gonna say sisterhood, but a friendship in emotional turmoil, but they also shared a friendship. I'm sure they were happy when they married brothers. So they shared they were very
Yeah,
emotionally connected,
yeah, you can imagine that's a tight bond.
a very, very tight bond. But when it was time to make a decision, Ruth was like, see ya, ain't nothing here. And that's how I feel like how I left Maryland. I'm like, I got to go. Like I love y'all, but it ain't here for me. It's not. I'm going. I'm not. And if you were willing to leave friendships, to and at that point, again, as far as she was concerned, her only love, she knew love through her mother-in-law. She didn't even know she had lost the love of her life. She had lost her husband, but she was loving the God in her mother-in-law.
I think what helped me in my personal life was leaving to go into the military, because it got me out of home. Because even when I go back there now, it's funny because there's a gentleman I work with. He's a manager, and he told me he's from there too. And he told me, it's like, man, look, when I go back there, I get depressed. I don't even like going. He said it just ain't the same. He said it's like we outgrew that place. People just have this I'm a defeated mindset, or it's almost like there's just a spirit of poverty or something around them. And
that's what I think Orpah was. Orpah, her sister-in-law, she was just that person that was that negative mindset. Like she was like, okay, well, I don't know nothing else, and I'm not willing to go. So I'm going to stay right here where I'm comfortable. And so that's when Ruth said, got to go. Yeah. Got to go. I got to make a decision. I got to go. This is where our friendship keeps it moving. Would you relocate? I guess that goes kind of hand in hand. Would you relocate? I was having a conversation with somebody today, and they said they're encountering a love interest, and the person lives in another state, and they were like, I don't want to go. And I was like, watch what you're saying. Watch what you're saying. Be careful. Be careful.
And think about it, though. Relocating ain't like it was back then. I mean, they walked about 50, 60 miles through, probably through deserts and going around lakes or up and down hills and mountains or whatever they had to go through. And, they only had sandals probably back then. But today, you can call Uber, you can do.
I'm saying, but even if it's so would y'all, so many people are jumping out of the country now. So it's one thing is to say, okay, the person lives in California, I live in North Carolina, would we go across the country? Our son lives in New Zealand. Yeah. He did that for love. When I first met Terrence, and he told me, my son just moved to New Zealand. And the first thing I thought was he was in the military. He was like, no, he met his girlfriend in college, and she lives, and that's where she's from. And he's going to try out another country. And we talked to him, of course. Night. Yeah. And he loves it there. Like, we were like, okay, we've got to get over there. Yeah. We can check the place out.
Yeah, they ain't even about to break up. And he ain't talking about breaking up and coming home. He talking about breaking up and finding his own house. And so it's all good.
Yeah. So but would y'all like all the way to New Zealand? Mm-hmm. Like, would y'all move to another country for love? Suppose your husband got marching orders, or not even military, but his job sent him over there. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a question. Yeah. The other thing is, would you be willing to go through the wilderness? And that's the hard times.
The dry season, by the time they made that walk, they had spent every cent they had on food or whatever they needed to give them what they needed to make that walk.
They said that walk was like 5 to 7 days that they made that walk. But that walk symbolizes and symbolic of being in a dry season. Mm-hmm. Like, are you willing to go through that hot, dry season for love? And again, we're now just talking about the love she had for Ruth, and I mean for Naomi, which really, I guess, symbolized the love she had for God.
Yeah, because she loved the God will be my God.
She loved the God in Ruth. I mean, Ruth loved the God in Naomi. Yes. So would you be willing to go through the wilderness, because you just attracted to the God in Naomi? Yeah. The other part is, would you be willing to do the work? We know that when she got to um,
Bethlehem
Bethlehem, she worked,
in the
she worked
fields.
in the field. And it's like, and we were talking about that working in the field is symbolic to um, personal development because
Mhm.
it's when she was in the field. It's ooh, I just got another
Mm.
revelation. It's when she was in the
I feel you. Go
field.
ahead, go ahead. I
It
know where
was
you're going.
it was when she was in the field that Boaz saw her. He initially saw her,
You saw work ethics
her work
and
at
our habits.
and her habits. So that's just like somebody could be watching you.
You never know.
Somebody could be
Mm.
watching you on social media and you don't know that that person is watching you. He's watching
Mm.
your personality, your work ethic, your drive, your character. He's watching
How
you.
you treating other people
How you treat
to
this
see if he can
comments
get
you
the courage to
say.
come speak to you.
Yeah, the comments you're making
Yeah.
about other people and the posts you're posting, just watching you.
Yeah.
And Ruth, we know, was a woman of loyalty, was a
Mhm.
woman of character, was a kind woman. She favored, yeah.
Yeah. She showed not only loyalty, but she showed selflessness. You know, she always made sure she took food back for enough for her mother-in-law and took care of her and made sure that she, didn't have to worry about anything, that she took care of. She went out and did her thing.
Yeah. How far would you go for love? Are you
Mm.
willing to make yourself visible where men are?
Mm. That's another symbolism of her being out in the field. She made herself visible. He
Wow.
wouldn't have seen her if she wasn't out in the field.
Yeah, I remember my mother used to say, "Well, you don't go out," because I'm a homebody by nature. And I remember one of my girlfriends, she's a homebody as well, and she says even to this day she's still single. She says, and he's got to knock on her door.
I ain't gonna lie, I made that statement. I told that to God a couple times. Look, she gonna knock on the door.
She said her earth's gonna have to knock on the door, and she just bought a new house. And she's like, he gonna have to knock on my door because I ain't going out. I'm not going out. But I remember I had to, and that was one of the reasons why I like online dating, because I can be home in my pajamas and I can get on the site when I wanted to, when I felt like it, as and have fun on there without, all of the yeah. If I didn't like you, I ain't got to respond. I can just keep it moving. So, but yeah, that's the thing. You got to make yourself visible. You got to make
Mhm.
yourself, because men are visual. And so, yeah. So, and the other part is, this is the deep part. And I don't even want to, talk about these two until we till we explain what happened, in the book of Ruth. And it's the part that we got the revelation on this afternoon. So Naomi knew the owner of the field because he was a relative. Amen, amen. Naomi knew the owner of the field because he was a relative of hers, and so remember, because her family had lived there. So Naomi was coaching Ruth and telling her basically what to do and how to approach or make herself visible. And that was the thing. She said, yeah, he sees you, but you got to make yourself,
God was using Naomi to speak to Ruth.
yeah, to tell her this is how you got to let him know that
Yeah.
you quote unquote interested. So Ruth, if I saying this correctly, I think it was at night. Ruth snuck into his room,
Mhm.
and what she did was, is
After
that
he went to sleep.
after he went to sleep, um, she took the covers off of his feet so that the cool breeze would get to his feet. And she sat there and waited. She waited and she waited until he woke up.
Mhm.
And the question is, and that's the revelation that we got, because that's the same thing. First of all, would you be willing to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation
Mhm.
for love? And that's basically what I did when I went into Terrence's DM.
Mhm.
I went into his DM and I waited. And Ruth waited and waited and waited for him to wake up. And we were studying what was happening when Boaz was asleep. What was happening, and then what was going through Ruth's mind. And that is a lot of times where you all are at. You're in that waiting period of waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for him to wake up to notice her.
Because while you're in your pruning, the men we're asleep.
We rest. Yeah, rest
while we're
God,
asleep, God is preparing us for the introduction. Okay, He's given us our vision. He's given us what we need and our instructions. So when we wake up and get introduced to you, we have a background. And in this, there's a point in the story when they first met. When they first met, she asked him, "Why are you being so nice to me? And I'm a stranger."
Is that when they were in the field?
That's when he first met her in the field.
I'm sorry, before you make that point, the field, she was in the field for how long? She worked in the field before her and Boaz got together. She was in the field from barley season
to wheat season. From the beginning of barley season to the end of wheat season.
Which is
basically 2 seasons. It's
which
like
is March to July. So it's it's
like
spring,
March to April.
Yeah, for us it's like
March to July.
July. This was like spring to summer. So you're in the field developing your working on you. That's like doing the work. You're working on yourself, but then you get to the place where you get into this uncomfortable, you make a faith move because somebody got your back, somebody in your ear saying, go ahead and do it. And you did it. And now you're waiting because he's asleep.
And when he first saw her and she got his attention by her work ethics and what she was doing, and he spoke to her for the first time, she asked him, "Why are you being so nice?" And he told her, she said, "Because I'm a stranger." And he said, "Well, it's already been shown to me. Everything that you've done since the death of your husband for your mother-in-law." So the only person that could have told her was God. Told him was God, because they wasn't in that region.
Field,
you know, they wasn't in that region when she did all those things.
Right.
You know,
so
she did all those things, you know, because her husband passed when she was back in her hometown
in Moab.
You know, in Moab. So you know, that had to be told to him. You know,
so he was already looking at her character.
So exactly, it just so it been revealed to him, and then he got to see it afterwards for the first time when he went to his field.
So then he was asleep, and then he woke up. He woke up. When he woke up, basically the rest is history.
Yeah.
But she waited. She had to wait. She didn't wake him up. And it's so funny because I shared this on a video we did. It's probably one of in the first 10 videos that we did, maybe in the first 5 videos that we did. And I told the story that when I met Terrence, when I came across Terrence in June, and he didn't respond because I had reached out to him on the dating app and he didn't respond. I didn't know at that time that he was no longer active. When I reached out to Terrence in June, a couple of months later, I had a dream. And as a matter of fact, it was in October. I had a dream in October that Terrence was asleep. He was in the room asleep. And I have it written down in my phone. And he was in the room asleep. And it was like he was visiting my house. I didn't know if we were married or not, but he was asleep. And I peeked in the room. And he was asleep, and I went in and I put the covers over him. And when I got up, the covers, the Lord revealed to me that the covers meant to pray, to cover him in prayer. And then in December is when I reached out to him in the DM. And then it wasn't until the next November where we end up starting to have a real conversation. But all that time, that's equivalent to me being a Ruth and just sitting at his feet and just waiting.
And it's funny because if you go back to the first 5 videos, explained or I described that to me, that whole time she was waiting, I always said I was asleep.
Yeah, he always says
So
that.
I've
He said I
always
was
said that I was asleep while
mm-hmm.
she was waiting. I was asleep.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And you was
it's
at
very,
peace during that
yeah.
time.
I was at
A lot.
I
You
was
was rest in rest.
when you can rest in God, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're
Yeah,
gonna be peaceful.
yeah. And then the last one is, will you be willing for love? How far would you go for love? Would you be willing to change your preference? Because this is not talked about a lot. They always talk about Boaz and Ruth and being this, I guess, this beautiful looking couple. And because he was because Boaz is such a man of stamina and character,
Integrity.
integrity, and kindness, we automatically see him as this handsome man. And he probably was handsome. But did y'all know that Boaz was 80 and Ruth was 40?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he still gave her a baby.
Yeah.
And he still gave her a baby. So would you be willing to change your preferences?
And prefaces, we talking. You just don't know who God has
You
for
just don't know.
You just don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just being open for. Now, I got my preference. I mean, I'm just saying, I got my preference. But I mean, it's height and everything. But you just
absolutely, Z. That's what we want.
These are some thought-provoking questions. Yes,
that's we want you to think.
It is time for change.
What you are saying, you're looking for, is somebody you're gonna spend the rest of your life with.
Yes,
that's not somebody you went to high school with,
right?
That you just trying to kick it with. You talking about whomever you got introduced you to today is going to be with you forever.
Forever, ever.
That's a serious thing. Mm-hmm. Outside of your decision to receive Christ, this is the most important decision you're gonna make.
Yep. And it's you know, it's more than just you say I want companionship, especially the older we get. Well, right now in this age now, I just want companion. Nah, you can have a companion that's the companion from hell. You want your perfect fit. You want your perfect fit. And I know for me, the older I got, the tighter my standards got. Mm-hmm. Like I was seriously like, if I can't get what I want, it's best that I just stay single. Like if I can't get when I say what I want, as far as what God wants for me, it's best that I stay single.
Yeah, see, Z, I'm telling you, I feel you. She went back to what we talked about last week, which was change. And she said she guess it's time for a change.
Yeah, that must have really resonated for a lot of people because my mother even reposted that video. But yeah, so yeah, it's some things that you have to really think about. Like when you're talking about love, like how far would you really go? Some people are so stuck in their idea of how it should be and and you're missing out. And I'm not saying compromise at all. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying that allow God to do his good and perfect work.
Yeah, because you'd be surprised. It's a difference in saying, you know, you have something that's going to sustain you for a little bit, but then month later, year later, 10 years later, because remember, we're talking for the rest of your life, you know, then all of a sudden you're no longer interested because what you initially asked for was on the outside.
And on the superficial side, yeah.
Mm-hmm. My mom used to tell me, she used to say this saying, we don't sleep together. And I was like, what? What she keep saying that for? After she passed, after my mother passed, years later, something came up. I was talking to somebody and that came straight to my mind. And what she means is you don't know people the way you should know them unless you're sleeping with them, which means you're with them in their most intimate, most in the best and the ugliest moments.
The worst.
You know, you have to really be with people, you know, all the time to really know who they are. And sometimes, you know, you just don't know that you don't know.
Right. I say wait for the right one. Be very, I guess that's the point of Be willing to do what you got to do for love, for the right, for love. Be willing to do what you need to do and trust God the whole time. Because taking shortcuts ain't it. Ain't it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Absolutely. So does anybody have any comments, any thoughts about the Book of Ruth?
We even looked at the black version of it, the movie.
Yeah, they got a new version of it, like today's version.
Yeah, that's not new though.
It's a today's version.
Yeah, the love of
the
Ruth.
Book of Ruth.
Yeah, the love of Ruth. They were almost accurate, but of course they put some drama, in there. They were almost accurate, but they did a good job. Yeah, they did a good job.
Putting it in today's terms.
Yes.
Yeah, they had to add something from today to make it.
Yeah. The funniest part is that Savannah was Bethlehem and Atlanta was Moab. That's the funny part. That's the funny part. But they got the message. The message was quite clear. The message was quite clear. The only thing that they missed, a big part that they missed, is that I believe in the Bible, Jesse was born. I'm sorry, Obed was born Naomi, because Naomi, I think, she nursed him or something.
She nursed him.
Yeah, in the movie. Hey, Mel.
Yeah.
So the Book of Ruth, definitely go study it.
They missed two things.
What else they missed?
One was that in that movie, Naomi died.
That's what I'm saying. She died.
Okay.
Yeah, Naomi. Naomi,
the baby. Yeah.
No, Naomi died, but Naomi would have been birthed. In the Bible, Naomi was living when Obed was born. Right. The baby was born. Yeah. But go watch it for the love of Ruth. That's a good movie. And then the guy was not named Boaz; his name was Braxton. But they did a good job. And then of course we watched every other version, but of course ain't nothing like the Word of God. So we've been studying the Word of God, restudying.
It's just good it's amazing what we're learning. When you read a book at a time and you find phrases that you like and you actually Google and you get dictionaries and you get all these different resources to help you find the definitions of what they're doing and what that meant back in that time and really try to paint a picture in your mind of what that really looks like.
Yeah, because I read that story a ton of times. And the part that got me was the part of her going, of course, I know the part of her going in the room, but the part of her having to sit at his feet to wait for him to wake up. And I guess it resonated because that's actually that's literally what happened with me and you. I had to wait for you to wake up to see me. Yeah. And a lot of you all are there as well right now. You see someone, there's an interest. And go back and look at our video from Saturday. Find out what the 4 answers God gives you, because you can be waiting in vain. It could be a big fat, So, but a lot of times we're sitting there waiting, and we're in the waiting room, and we're waiting, and we're waiting.
Yeah, look at Eve. She waited.
She waited as well. Well, she was being developed as well, but you mean Adam was asleep.
He was asleep. She had to wait for God to get him up.
Yeah, stitch him up. Eve said, "Get up. I'm ready. God done made me ready. I'm ready."
What you doing down there?
What you doing down there? Get your butt up out that dirt. He was like, "I didn't even ask for a wife. Like, what are you talking about? I didn't even ask for you." So yeah, but it's so many references in the Bible to waiting. Yeah. To waiting on God. And so you're in good company. You're in a good place.
You're in a good place. You're not by yourself. You're not by yourself. So you got people you can share, talk to, ask questions, reference. I mean, we're here. The whole group is here. We want to be a family.
Yes.
We want to have a community of people that are a family to help each other go through things and be there for each other and support each other. And
So the second part of the announcement.
Yes, go ahead.
The second part is that we are doing a webinar, absolutely free. We were thinking about, okay, we probably need to help our community do these profiles right.
Mhm.
I don't care what site you're going. We will hope you will go on eHarmony, but I don't care what dating site. I say I am all for you just getting out there. You know, getting out there. Online dating is, to me, is a little safer, and that's just my opinion. So we're doing a webinar on Saturday, January 6th. So we're kicking off the new year right.
Mhm.
And Saturday, June 6th, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you just saw that movie, Z. So Saturday, Eastern Standard Time, Saturday, January 6th, 2024, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing a webinar. We want to help get y'all profiles up. And let me tell y'all something. I ain't tooting my own horn, but I had the bomb profile on the dating platforms. And I got so many compliments on my profile, and it was more than just about pictures, because I didn't, the way that the way eHarmony was set up, you didn't see my picture until you went through the steps. So you had to get to a certain level, and before I would reveal my before my pictures became visible. But so my profile, I like to think I got a lot of compliments on my profile. My profile was very intriguing, but I'm going to also share Terrence's profile. I still have his exact profile. Of course, I got a screenshot of it, and I'm going to tell. I'm going to share. We'll share his profile, and then we'll also tell you some of the things that you're doing on social media that you got to watch for. Because I remember as soon as he and I became Facebook friends, I went and I cleaned out everything on my Facebook. Things that, and this is just what I did, and I'm just saying, I'm just sharing what I did with you all. But there were some things that I had on, like some opinions and stuff, some strong opinions, just some things that, even looking back, I'm like, why would I even say stuff like something like that? Like just having opinions and stuff. So I went through my whole, all my social media, and I do that from time to time anyway. And I cleaned out my social media, my Facebook, a lot of my stuff, a lot of, people I unfollow. I'm about to do that anyway in the next few days. I'm gonna, so I want to share. We'll share those things with you all on January 6th. It's absolutely free, no obligation. No, you ain't got to sign up for no eHarmony. But if you want to, I thoroughly encourage
even
you.
if you go ahead and decide you're going to do that and you sign up now, because you can just go to our link, our website, the link's on there, and click it.
Go through the personality.
On January 6th, you can update it, because we're going to walk you through every step and show you how to set it up. So you're going to get some people reaching out to you and wanting to conversate. And
baby, converse.
And if nothing else, it gives you some experience talking to people, because trust me, verbiage change in what it means when a man says something versus what it means when a woman say the same thing. It's two different things.
True.
So at least it'll give you an opportunity to hear some of those things. That way, when you do actually meet the person that you're going to be with, you have a better understanding of what he is saying when he says it, and she's saying when she says it.
Yes.
And I share with you, for the women that are here, I share with you the things that turned me off from some sites that I saw.
Yes. And he had a lot of things that turned him off. And I have some things that turned me off. And it ain't him say conversate. It's not. It's not.
I don't know why. She just feels the need.
You can look at the last 100 videos, and you say it. You say it every other video. You say conversate every other video.
Then leave it alone, because it's going to be said.
But I'm
video
here to help
after this.
you. No, I'm here to help you.
I'm
your helpmeet. I'm your helpmeet. I'm your helpmeet. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, Terrence had a lot of things that I told you his profile was no nonsense. And I was like, I love him. Oh my God, I love him.
Again, you're looking for somebody you're gonna spend the rest of your life with.
Yes, yes.
Playtime is over.
Yeah,
you need
he
to
was
be for
very
real.
direct of what he wanted. Don't waste his time. And so I'm gonna share the whole profile. We'll share the whole profile with you, so you'll see exactly, So, yep. But that's about it.
So now that we're here towards the end, I guess it's time for me, huh? Anyway, for those of you that have realized or came to the conclusion that you want to take Jesus Christ as your Savior and you have not, if you like to do that, we just recommend you read and go through Romans 10:10.
Yep.
Okay. Romans 10:10. And for those of you that felt like, you know what, I need to repent and get myself back in alignment, back on course, you can also do that. Just go to Acts 2:38. Acts 2:38. And if you'd like us to agree with you in prayer, just go to our platform, go to our site, send us an email. If you'd like us to pray with you on an issue, again, hit us up by email, message us, and we will definitely contact you and speak to you and see what we need to do, what you're looking for.
Yes.
We are here for you.
Yes, we are. We're called to this.
We love this. We love you guys. We want to make sure that you know that you're not by yourself on your journey.
Especially during this time of year. Yes. Like, we know how it feels to just be another Christmas.
Another New Year's. And shortly after New Year's, you got Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I remember one Christmas, I didn't even get up out the bed. I was living here. I was living in Raleigh. I didn't go home for Christmas. And I think I got one gift from Z. 9 times out of 10 was from Z. I got a gift. And I just stayed in the bed the whole Christmas. I wasn't sad or anything. I was just alone. So
Christmas before we met, I worked on my birthday.
Yeah. Christmas is his birthday. Christmas Day is his birthday.
I worked on my birthday. I got triple time at work.
Yes.
I was like, my kids are grown. I'm not going to see them this morning. I'm going to get paid.
Yeah, that's true. So, but we're here for you. So, yeah. Yes. So you got us. If you want to register for the webinar, there's a link down the bottom. That's the only way you can register. Registration is limited. We can't take that many people because it's got to be intimate. If you're on our mailing list, you'll receive an email with the link, but that's the only way you can register. And yeah,
we're gonna have some fun.
Yes, we're gonna be together in a more closed, intimate setting. So yeah, we get to say what we want to say.
Y'all see right here in the corner, you see my Christmas tree behind me. Over the years, she got my tree up.
Yes, and let me tell y'all, I got a whole new, because this is his favorite colors. Those who know me personally know that I've always had an orange tree. Everything was orange and golds and stuff. And so last year we got all new everything. And so I got
a tree.
A green tree.
I got a tree.
A green tree. Yeah. So that's our Christmas. Oh, it's green and whatever color is it? Blue, teal. That's the color. All right, so that's it. I'm sitting here with a stomach ache, drinking some.
With y'all, with this, everything said, we are so happy that you guys joined us tonight.
Yes.
We hope you have a very blessed remainder of your Tuesday night.
Thank you, Z.
And how in the world does she see lovebirds?
It's because Z follows us on social.
Oh, I was gonna say
that's the theme of our.
Good eyes.
That's the theme of our tree. Is not all birds, but it's birds and love, hearts and the letters love, the words love, hearts, and birds. And so our theme is lovebirds. So yeah. So you're excited, Kimberly. We're excited to meet you in a more, see you face to face. So Mel, Z, Mo, all y'all, we'll see y'all on the 6th because we know that you'll be there. So
no doubt.
And anybody else that wants to join us. All right. The link is at the bottom. Again, if you're on our mailing list, we'll send you the link. If you're not on our mailing list, you can go to our website and join our email list. There you also will see the eHarmony link. Go ahead and sign up create a profile, do the compatibility quiz. It's absolutely free. And yeah, that's it for the Smiths.
No
You got
doubt.
anything else you want to say, baby?
Hey, we love you.
Yes.
God loves you.
Yes.
And you are one day closer.
Yes, you
meeting your
are.
true love.
You are one day closer. Yep. All right. Deuces.